Hey guys, welcome. Sorry for the delay. I know I said I was going to be here at 5 o'clock, but it was raining cats and dogs here on the East Coast, and I could not get a connection for the life of me. I kept trying and I kept trying, and finally I am on. So, welcome to Hashesput. If you haven't done so already, and you watch my videos 1,000 times, you know what to do already. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, Leia, I finally made it. It was raining. Oh my gosh. It's like torrential downpour. It's so bad here on the East Coast. So if you're in any part of the East Coast, you can feel for me. You know that it's been raining. So, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And today I'm in my Farrah Fawcett mode. So I just want to, I don't like to waste time. I am here. I'm promoting my Laws of the Enchantress program. If you haven't heard about it, look in the description box. I have a main page that's closed and anyone can join. So you can learn about, thank you so much, Shun. So you can learn about the program. It's all about empowering the black woman, getting her healed, getting her confidence back up. Because there's just so much as a black woman that we do not know about our true selves. And everything that we need, we already have inside of us. But there's just so much misinformation out there, and I feel like someone has to care about black women. And when I say care, I mean really know sorry, what's going on with the status of black women in the United States. This is not about, oh sorry, I have allergies. This is not about a blame game. This is about knowing the challenges so we can form solutions. So this is not about just coming on here and turning into the Incredible Hulk. This is truly about you, not me, you. And everybody listening to this, it could be about your daughter, it could be about your sister, your mother. It's truly about healing, empowering the black feminine sacred, because I know that as a black woman, that's our key to happiness, that is our key to success. And also being aware as a black woman what the facts are. So one thing I want to tell you about going forward, be careful. We're in a very scary age right now where people can make websites. I can make a website overnight and I can put any type of information I want out there to make the information seem factual. And that's not what you want. Even with me, at the end of this video, I always put stuff in the description box. Always fact check me. Always question me. I am not scared. Come, I'm not a dictator. I'm not here telling you. I welcome engagement. I welcome you to talk to me. So this is about the status of African American women in the United States of America. And I want to tell you the status so going forward, you can make better choices. And the first thing I want to say as a black woman, you have so much. When you see this, to me, it's not negative. It is, to me, it's amazing that what you as black women have been able to accomplish with little to no support, whether it's society, whether it's community, whether it's your own internal struggles. The fact that we are here and we are still managing in some way, shape, or form to progress despite everything that's against us, to me, it shows a massive amount for potential. So to me, it's a good thing. So I just want to start because this all got started because there was a live of a very beautiful black woman today. I saw I was coming home and I'm looking through my phone, and by chance I saw her live. And she was talking about, don't focus on, love, focus on money, money, money. And I'm listening, and you know what? It's the United States. Everybody has a right to their opinion. And then she continues and says, well, men and women. And she's talking about the black community. And that's where I just stopped. And then she continues to say very disparaging things about black women. So this is what I want to stop. Like you're talking to black women and you're spewing negativity about black women, not to empower them, not to make them aware, not to bring accountability, but to bring them down. And the funny part is black women are the pillar of their community. Black women are the heartbeat and the pulse of their community. Without black women, there'll be no black community. We've been carrying. So any trial and tribulation a black man has had, we have endured the same thing. If you're a black man and you haven't had a father figure, that's very detrimental to a black woman. If you're a black man and you grew up in violence or, a poverty, vulnerable area, so has the black woman. Every trial and tribulation that can happen to the black man has also happened to the black woman, with extra detrimental in regards to being protected, being respected. There's a certain air as a feminine sacred that we do not have as a black woman. So that I was very disparaged to hear that from her, and it bothered me because it's not reflective of the truth. And the truth is that black women are 80% or more of the average United States household. That's not the truth. So I want to actually be a big nerd, like I always am. I have all my tabs. If you see a blue illumination, that's me actually looking at my computer. And that's how fact-based I want to be. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I truly want us to form solutions. I truly want us to have solutions to our problems. I don't want us to be continually fighting back and forth, but you cannot find the solution without acknowledging the challenge. Okay, that's like trying to lose weight without going on a diet or going to the gym. Ain't go work. So first thing here, what you need to know is that black women have a wage gap. Okay, this is a fact sheet for the United States. So April 2018, a persistent gender-based wage gap continues to harm black women and their families, and is particularly damaging for black women. So I'm gonna pause right there. So when you see black women out there trying to, no offense, mammy up and ignore the facts just to make black men feel good, it's like putting a band-aid on a festering wound. It might feel good for the first 2 or 3 seconds. It might take away the ugliness of it, but when you lift that band-aid up, it's gonna be mad, it's gonna be crazy. So it's better to address these issues head on versus just, woo woo woo, like make you feel good for the second. So listen to what it's saying. Black women in the United States who work full time, year round, are typically paid 63 cents for every dollar paid to white non Hispanic men. Overall, women employed full time year round are typically paid 80 cents. So she's making less than white women. Okay, so white women on typical average make 80 cents, black women make less. So we're at the bottom rung, okay? So even in states with large populations of black women in the workforce, rampant wage disparities persist with potentially devastating consequences for black women and families. Okay? So in other states, it actually gets worse. In Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, black women range from 47 cents to 69 cents for every dollar paid to whites. So remember, when I give you a medium range, it talks about the entire United States, but there's certain states where it's even lower, okay? So you're not, it says right here, Texas and New York, Texas, New York is my state, have the largest population of black women working full time. Black women in Texas are paid only 58 cents for every dollar paid to non-white, and black women are paid only 66 cents to every dollar. So it's pretty bad. So when I see black women telling other black women and going hard for them and saying, oh, you have these black men walking around with black women, or you got black women not looking right, or, I'm very protective because no black woman wants to walk around looking busted. No black woman wants to walk around with 10 inches of new growth hanging out her weave. No, she doesn't. There is absolutely no black woman who don't want to look their best and feel their best, but it requires money. And when 80% of black women are the head of their households, in conjunction with being the leaders in poverty, you're not going to walk out your house looking like Vanessa Williams. We need a reality check because we do not have a reality check. And black women, a lot of them don't seem to care about the real issues that affect black women. And not just bring up the issues, talk about solutions. So I'm watching the time. When I get into 15 minutes, I am going to start talking about the actual solutions. This is not a rage fest, but I'm very passionate because the solutions are not rocket science. The solutions are not quantum physics. So I'm going to continue, okay? And I'm going to put this link here. This is www.nationalpartnership.org, research library /workplace fairness /pay African American wage gap PDF. So this is not a neutral. I mean, this is a neutral thing. This is not, this is a national partnership for the United States for women and families, and they kind of like emphasize black women because we get the less. Okay, so the median wage for black women in America, the medium range, is 36,000 compared to whites, which is 57,000. All right, this amounts to $21,000 in difference on average. In certain states, it could be more. That means black women have less money to support themselves and their families, and family businesses and the economy in those areas suffer overall. Okay, so it says right here, black women cannot afford discrimination, and lower wages. All right, eliminating the wage gap could provide much needed income to black women who sustain their households. So for all the people that criticize black women and say baby mama or food stamp or welfare, this is actual United States. You're getting robbed. So when they do income disparity, what they do is they take a black woman with equal education or equal experience and they match it to a white woman or a white person. That's how it goes. They just don't do it by money. They look at the actual income disparity according to the education and experience. You need to know that. So the average black woman in America is losing about $20,000 a year. And it can vary depending on state. It can get worse or it could be the medium range. So when I hear another black woman go hard and talk about you need to get your hair done, you need to get your nails done, you need to blah blah blah, the shut it. I'm trying to do my 21 day, but this is acknowledgement for you because how are we supposed to solve the problems if we don't know the issues? It's like flying a plane blind and just hoping for the best. Ain't gonna work out, son. I can tell you from now, if you get your ass on a Boeing, you ain't going. You better open your eyes real good. Hi, Jay. And I'm talking about solutions, but we gotta confront the challenges. Because you got black women out there talking about, well, you got to make sure you got money too. It's not the same. It's not the same. You can clearly see. We need our men to be supportive. We need our men to provide. We need our men to be aware of the challenges. And that's why I say date character first. I don't care about swirling. I don't care about whirling. I don't care if you got a Russell or if you get yourself an Alexis like Serena got. All I care about is that man can love you, provide you, and protect you, and lead you, and allow you to be feminine. I don't give a shit. If you find a Russell, good for you. If you find I don't care, a LeBron, good for you. I don't care. All I care about is black women happiness. And I don't want to hold any man of any demographic as some type of Superman because then he becomes the jewel. Then he becomes the quest. No, you are. And and the thing about in my Law of Enchantress program, we empower you to love yourself and honor yourself and form self-care habits of treating yourself well. Because once you start doing that, even if you don't find a guy right away, you can't be having a negative benefit of loving yourself and adoring yourself and telling yourself every day that I am worthy, I am beautiful. As you can see, for all the black women that's been told this patriarchy controversy, as you can see, this is what your life looks like, black women, without any men. This is what your life look like. You're 80% of the household. You can't feed your families. You got to get 2 degrees just to get the income of a high school degree of a white woman. This is what your life looks like. A shorter lifespan. I'm not even done. This is what your life looks like. So I'm going to continue. More than 80% of black mothers are key breadwinners for their families, which means their household relies heavily on their wages to make ends meet and get ahead. More than 4 million family households in the United States are headed by black women alone, and nearly 1 in 3 of these households live below the poverty level. This means that more than 1.3 family households headed by black women live in poverty, demonstrating the imperative to eliminate the wage gap. And they're not sitting at home on their ass. They're not collecting checks. They're not the typical, the mythical, I call it the mythical unicorn of the welfare mom, because even that process has been out the window years ago. They got rid of that out the window years ago. You don't get checks for kids anymore. That shit is gone. So what I'm trying to tell you as black women, you got to be aware. If you're going to talk to black women, at least be aware of what we're going through. Don't look down on a black woman because she doesn't have makeup on or her wig is not on. Don't look down on a black woman if you see her coming out the shop with a doobie and rollers. You have no idea how much shifts she just worked. You have no idea if she's been taking care of 3, 4 kids by herself. You have no idea she's been working 2 jobs, stressed out to make ends meet. Why would a woman choose not to look and feel her best? Obviously, she's preoccupied. And I'm just completely shocked at the lack of compassion when you are a black woman and you know how tough it is to be a black woman, regardless of your master's, your PhD, regardless of your high school diploma. It is challenging just to step out of your house and be a black woman. Whether you're the darkest shade of ebony or the most yellowish shade of melanin, you know how it is to be a black woman. But yet we criticize each other just to do what? What are we doing? We are criticizing each other just to uphold, I don't know, someone's ego. I have no idea where it's coming from. But we need to be each other's priority. We need to be each other's concern because no one's concerned for us. So that's what I do. I raise awareness for many issues that black women are completely unaware of, and we need to be aware. The next one is talking about discrimination in, in medical field. You got a lot of black women that are dying in childbirth. They don't have representation. They don't have families. They don't have any males. And they're going to the hospital. They're getting bad treatment. I'm sure you see in the news all the time. Even Serena Williams documented how bad she was treated and almost died during her childbirth. And she's rich. This is why we need legislation. We need laws. We need Congress. So when I see again black women telling black women how you're supposed to look, what you're supposed to go. Are they aware of the status of black women in America? Do they give a crap about the status? Do they think black women are like Scrooge McDuck walking around with mad money bags and they're just choosing not to take care of themselves? They're choosing not to do what they got to do? You think they're making a conscious choice not to take care of themselves? You have to realize that we don't get attention, we don't get awareness. And even black women are conditioned to care about everybody else. Black women are so conditioned to care about everybody else. They put themselves last and put everybody first. And by the time they get to themselves, they got this much left to get to themselves. And I don't want that anymore. I want black women to know the status. You're number one in this country for domestic abuse. You are number one in this country for homicide. You're number one in this country for murder. You're number one in this country for sexual assault. I go to domestic abuse centers. I go to nonprofits. I give my money. I give my time because I'm interested in seeking solutions, not just seeking problems. But how are we supposed to solve shit when you got group A? That don't happen. That don't happen. Then you got group B. That's, I call it the evil math people. That's not real. Pew Research is not real. The numbers are skewed. Then you got group C that want to rationalize everything. They want to rationalize, oh, that happened because so-and-so. It's not about rationalizing. It's about finding the truth. And if you are a black woman and you see these statistics and numbers, how dare you tell other black women to level up? And not to say you can't level up, but how dare you criticize her if she can't afford to get her hair done? Or you criticize her because she lives in a shoddy part of town. Or you criticize her because, she's driving a Toyota Camry that's 10 years old. It's like, aren't you aware of the status of black women? Black women have most of the degrees in the United States. Black women are now the most educated segment in America, but yet her income's not changing. You know why? This is what it looks like, y'all, for no patriarchy. For those that have been telling you patriarchy is bad and they in your fucking ear and men are evil, well, black women, you'll be pleased to know you have no male representation in Congress. This is what it fucking looks like. You have no male representation in the Senate. This is what it looks like. Do you like how it feels? You complain about patriarchy. Many of you don't have male heads of the household. I just read something from the Census Bureau. 80% of you do not have heads that are providing. So how does it feel? Do you like this sensation? Do you like the lack of protection? The lack of respect? Do you like this? I'm asking. I know somebody's listening. Are you enjoying your patriarchy lists? 'Cause I think some of you guys confuse patriarchy with misogyny. We have a white male patriarch, which is not even that dominant anymore. Literally, okay. So let me tell you what a real patriarchy is. I was speaking to a girl from Bangladesh. She saw my Laws of Enchantress YouTube page, and she said she wanted to talk to me because she's confused. And she spoke to me about patriarchy. And she said, I don't understand white women, what they're complaining about. She said, I'm from Bangladesh, I'm Bengali, and I won't say her name. And she said patriarchy means you have no rights as a woman. Patriarchy means that you are getting abused, and there is no laws. She was telling me that you can get burned alive in some parts of India when your husband dies. She was telling me there's no promiscuity. There's only sex within marriage. She said this is patriarch, and only men can get passed down wills, estates, and trusts. Only men can get money. So I said to her, so what do you think about what's going on here? And she said, she said, I don't know what's happening because she's not from here. And she was, her English wasn't the best, but she was saying it's not 100%. You have to understand, if patriarchy was that devastating, if patriarchy was horrible for women and it was the worst thing ever, white women made a choice in the last election. Donald J. Trump would not have become president if it wasn't for the white demographic. You black women need to know this. They voted for Trump at 52%. They gave Trump the election. The only demographic that changed drastically from the two terms of Obama was a white female demographic. And the reason why it took it by surprise is that we weren't counting on white girls to play white girls. But the reason why, and I'm telling you, I do my investigations. I can't say too much because this is YouTube and I'm scared. I don't want to get my channel banned. I don't want my Facebook blocked up. But the truth is, if you go into a lot of these special groups that are for special demographics, the white crazy groups, the crazy groups, okay, they don't want, thank you, 53%. They don't want the patriarchy to go. Hillary Clinton represented diversity. Hillary Clinton represented black people. Remember, she was chilling with Jay-Z and Beyonce. You think the white women like that? I'm not saying all of them, but enough of them. They like their status. They like to be protected. What up, Roots and Leaves? Cute name. I like that, Roots and Leaves. I like that name. So they like their status. You black women have to sit down because they're telling you shit that they're so oppressed. And oh my God, the man and my last name. And oh my God, I'm so imprisoned. And they had a chance. Hey, Ayana, what's up? Hey, Nikki. And they had a chance to put the first white woman in office. Everything that they swear they fight for, abortion rights and gay rights and social justice and all this type of things for women, it's a lie. Do you guys understand that they are the reason why? And Hillary Clinton, I had to watch this thing. Hillary Clinton was mad embarrassed. Heart of Gold? You can ask questions because I'm a nerd. I've been studying this thing for years. The reason why they did that is because the patriarchy they say and the patriarchy they experience is completely different. They are lying to you. They are lying to you. I live in New York, son. The white women in New York get wife bonuses. Look it up. Look up the word poor little rich wife. It was in Time magazine. They get wife bonuses. They sit home and they raise their children to be hyper intelligent. They go to all the parent teachers meetings. They make sure they get into the top preschool and the top all types of elementary schools. And they make sure the kids are going to 17 countries by the time they're 12. They make sure before their child reach pre-teen years, that child's going to get into that Ivy League school. They make sure their child's going to be the master. It's crazy. There's nothing wrong. James, there's nothing wrong with that. Who said there's something wrong? More power to her. I'm not hating. More power to her. But what is wrong is that the same women that benefit from this system will come out and say patriarchy is evil. And they're the ones marrying the richest men. They're the ones making sure they do hypergamy. They're the ones making sure that patriarchy is safe. That's why they voted for Trump. They saw Trump as a safeguard for white America. And you know what? They smart. They voting their interest. It didn't matter he got caught on tape saying grab by the pom pom. You gotta. I read a lot. I'll post the articles. I read a lot. I read the New York Times. I read Forbes magazine, BBC News. I go to conferences. I go to webinars. I sit back. Sometimes they have Skype shows and they don't check to see who's black and who's not. And I sit back and I be quiet. Like I said, they have like a lot of shows going on and podcasts. And my name is Connie Walker. I don't sound too black, and I'll get invited to shows, and they don't check my credentials. I sit in the cut, and I hear them saying that black people were progressing a little bit too much. In their opinion, 8 years. In their opinion, 8 years was of a black man made them feel threatened. Seeing Michelle Obama's elegant ass. Seeing Michelle Obama looking beautiful, sitting on them hills, 100% black woman from black slaves, black. You can't talk about no second generation. She's black and she was the best first lady, the most educated. That was too close, way too close. for the ones that have that way too close. So they made sure they put someone that would stop the progression. No, it's the 53% of the females. Because how is it possible within 2 months of Trump going into White House, you look like a damn fool walking around Washington, D.C. with poom poom hats? They had hats shaped like vaginas talking about me too, me too. You just put the biggest me too in the White House. What you talking about, son? Are you okay? You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. That can't be the forefront. It's all about power. It's all about power. James, I'm black. I know what you're talking about, James, about the Eve gene, and you guys evolved from us. So most people, everybody's black and African if you talk about evolution. But our skin and demographics and scientists, I know all about that. Okay? I know all about that. But the point is, they protected their patriarchy. If they're so oppressed, you have the chance to put a white woman. And I don't care what you feel about Hillary, there's no contrast between Obama, Hillary, and Donald Trump, and there's no contrast. And they purposely went behind the back. So this is what I'm trying to tell you as black women. Marriage is not evil. Marriage is not bad. Marriage is not some slavery. Marriage, I mean, if you marry a loser ass guy and he makes you work 10, 12 days a week, that's your problem. Okay? You have to remember, you have to do your research. You have to read. And when you do your research, check the sites, because some sites are very biased. Some sites are fueled by Democrats. Some sites, I don't like that shit. I like neutral things. And a lot of people have no idea that the same women who are screaming patriarchy are the same women who ran in the booth and voted for Donald Trump. And people are like, oh my God, thank you, James. People are like, oh my God, because they're not being abused, ladies. They are protected. They're not being killed and slaughtered. It's us. The demographics are there. And if you want a solution to all of this, the solution is family, tradition. You wanna see the difference between Future, Ciara's husband, or fiance, whatever the hell that was, to Russell? They voted for Trump to protect that male patriarchy they hate so much. They voted for Trump to make sure the people that go into the Congress and the Senate continue to make laws to protect them, to respect them. Okay? They voted for him. You had 44% of white female college-educated liberals who voted for him, and they hid that shit. They didn't want to tell you that because how could they explain? The same Becky that's calling for the barbecue, the same Becky that's calling for the water. Haven't y'all noticed that Becky's out of control this year? She's calling for everything. She's calling for little girls selling water bottles. She's calling for people having a barbecue. So, okay, Monet or Monet? Monet, okay. Monet, there is no black patriarchy in the black neighborhood. There is none. Misogyny, yes. Misogyny, which is a hypersexualization, but that's not power. Patriarchy means you have power passed down from the head of the household to the next household. But even in white, so-called pimperossi, that's funny. But even in the white households, the white woman is respected. So that's not the same. It's broken. It's not the same. The white woman is respected. It's not the same. That girl from Bangladesh told me you could get your ass beat. You can't go into domestic violence. You could get your ass kicked. You can't get pregnant. He could literally cheat on you and kick you out the house and move the mistress in. So what you have to do, no, James, no, James, I love my black sisters. Even the ones I don't love, I love you. I don't speak ill of any black woman in public. That time has ended. It's not complicated for black women are beautiful. From the darkest to the lightest. We are gorgeous. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Exactly. Tanya, exactly. And black women need to wake up because I posted on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook for Connie Lauren Walker. to a beautiful black woman who went out of her way to feed a homeless man, good evening, in the parking garage. And she was gorgeous, very classy, and she felt bad because the guy, I guess he was posting up in the garage, outdoor garage parking lot with his dog. And it was so funny that, of course, Becky called the police. And, she bought the food, she came out, she fed the dog. I don't know what happened. And they called the police, and cars, four cars came up to her. And you know what the officer said to her? I taped it. The officer said, "Are you married?" He was probably getting ready to bust that ass. He's probably getting ready to do whatever he wants to do to her. But the thing is that when you have a community, when you got a family, people are less hesitant. So let me just tell you something interesting about patriarchy. Forget about the husband factor for a second. I don't think black women get it. When you don't have a system of tradition and culture that shows little boys how to respect women, forget about the husband. How can when black women are attacked, where's your brother? Where's your uncle? No, forget about the husband for a second. Where's your father? Where's your male cousins? Do you see how infectious that negativity is? And that's why we got to find the solutions. When I see black women coming on TV who's been attacked by police officers or attacked in the Waffle House or attacked in the nail salon or whatever it may be, forget about the husband. I'm talking about where are the males in the family. Anything happens to me, oh shit, son. All of Jamaica's coming up here. I wouldn't even want them to know because they'll probably do some crazy stuff. So I try to keep that stuff very, very civil. But as black women, you have to know what's happening to you so you can make better choices. And like I said, it's about character. I don't care about the color. If you find LeBron, I'll come to your wedding with a jersey. If you find if you find yourself a Will Smith, if you find yourself a Denzel Washington, if you find yourself an Idris Elba, if you find yourself a Jay-Z, I don't care. All I care about is your black women happiness. And it's about marriage. It's about tradition and culture. It's about men who are going to feed your feminine sacred. That's all that matters, is opening up your options to loving yourself, opening up your options to people that put you first. Because I'm not about giving anyone a pass. I don't care what race you are. I don't care if my boyfriend is multicolor. If he don't want to marry me and he doesn't want to get engaged and he doesn't want to walk down the aisle, you're completely useless to me. And that's the biggest problem with black women. You can say divest, 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 but if you've been in a culture, submerged in a culture, where you weren't honored and raised to be a wife and a mom, where you weren't honored and allowed to be feminine and have that true feminine energy, even when you leave, Blackistan and Nagasaki or whatever they say, you're gonna bring that tempo with you, and the men are gonna respond to you in kind. So you got to be able to adjust your frequency, adjust your vibration, heal yourself, become positive, empower yourself. And I mean that. The women that's taking my Laws of Enchantress course, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe just by me focusing on me and loving me and empowering me and getting a good habit of self-care. You have to do that. So you want to know. You want to know. Because if you go by character, character is your Sloman shield. My fear for black women is that we have a lot of calamity going on. We have a lot of social stereotyping. People don't know how beautiful we are. People don't know how wonderful we are. People don't know how feminine we are. People don't know. And if you're talking about divest, divest, and if people dig and see the negativity, they might think as a black woman, you expect less. They might think as a black woman, oh, I can date her. She's not going to be challenging. I know I coach women. And then there's girls who come to me and tell me that guys have said to their face, oh, nobody wants to marry black women. Oh, nobody wants to. Oh, there's some guys who actually enjoy dating black women who are not black because they feel it's easier. You don't got to take her to the 5-star restaurant. You don't got to bring her a dozen roses. It's easier. She's not used to shit. That's why I'm like, shh. You are the upgrade. You are worthy of anything and everything you desire. You got to focus on you. If you divest, whatever you choose to do, I'm all about pro-black women happiness. Whatever you choose to do, do it. But don't over engulf yourself in the negativity. It's not going to help you in the long run. I'm telling you, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. You gotta really, you have to, exactly, stop airing out your laundry. And I'm gonna tell something to James, his little ass here talking. When I was growing up, I did not think I was beautiful, okay? They changed the flavor of black beauty, but it's time for black women to rise and make her own flavor and stop waiting for a society to tell you what's beautiful and what's attractive. When I was growing up, it was white woman world. I grew up with Cindy Crawford, Christy Turtleton. I grew up with Elle McPherson. I grew up in the 80s where white models were the norm. The only black model they had when I got a little bit older was Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks, and they were quick to pit them against each other. So you need to shut your mouth. They used to call me frog mouth. They used to call me duck lips. They used to call me Gladys the cow because I had big eyes and big lips. I used to be scared to wear lipstick. I'm never going to forget when I was 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, I was working at a makeup counter. I won't say the name in case you two have a problem with that. And my black African manager told me I was not allowed to wear bright colors because bright colors were for thin lips and gloss and sheer was for full lips in my own lifetime. So if you're a little bit younger, you won't know how bad it was. They had a song by JJ on In Living Color making fun of full lips. It was like you gotta take your you gotta take your drink sip by sip. Look at these big ass lips. What I want black women to do, whether you're dark, dark, dark or light, 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 you are drop dead gorgeous. You cannot wait for white society to tell you when you're beautiful. When I was younger, they used to make fun of ass. What did they call me? Donald Duck Butt, Daffy Duck Butt, Ghetto Butt. You need to get rid of that ghetto booty. We used to take sweaters, okay? Take sweaters and tie sweaters around our lower body because we wanted to be svelte and straight. Calvin Klein was very big back then. Y'all probably don't remember him, but Calvin Klein used to have a model called Kate Moss. Kate Moss. And that was who they had. Exactly. It was not attractive. It was not attractive until they said it was attractive. Can you imagine how I feel as a black woman in my own lifetime growing up when ass was ugly and lips were ugly and hips were ugly and all types of shades of black were ugly? They only preferred to put, you got to be a drop of black and that was it. A Vanessa Williams type with blue eyes, 25% black, and that was it. A drop. That's a smidgen because too much was ugly. Too much was too much. Black women, you got to look around you. They're jealous of you. They want your style. They want your swag. You got people putting in ass. Three's Company shaped. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sherry. You got people putting in shape. Exactly. Ass became popular. You know what? You're very smart, Cece. Ass became popular because they figured out a way to appropriate it. If they can't have it, it's bad. If they can't possess it, it's trash. If they can't rock it, it's ghetto. But as you can see, they're very eager. So you are, I'm telling you, you are the upgrade. You are the original woman. You are the goddess. So no matter what you are, you have to empower yourself and know you are beautiful and stop waiting for society to tell you you're beautiful. Because you are. I was watching, if you're in my Laws of Enchantress program, if you're on my Laws of Enchantress page, as you're talking to here, as you're talking, as you're sitting here, they're developing gene technology because they're saying in about 10 to 15 years, you're not going to be able to go out there and tan. Okay? You're not going to be able to go out there and tan because we're eroding the UV. You got scientists talking about giving people a gene, a melanin injection. It's not fake. This is advanced science. So they can be darker naturally. So people that are pale don't have to overexpose themselves to sun. Hello. What more do you want? This is a status. You can't wait for people. Women is that we are so unique. Thank you, Midnight Black. I change often. We are so unique. And what terrifies me is that some black women think in order for you to get ahead, you got to eliminate that uniqueness. You can't have a size, 12 body. You can't have ass. You got to be skinny, skinny, skinny. You got to have straight China doll hair. This is a wig. I have a big afro and I'm growing it out and I braid it and I stayed like that for a couple of months. I have my own little African technique. I have a lot. If you look at my videos, I have a lot of natural hair, and the only reason it gets that long is because I don't bother it. It's all natural. I don't relax it. I have over 200 wigs, and I have fun. I have lots of fun. You probably seen my real hair in the big natural state and thought that was fake. No, that's actually my hair. But black women, you cannot wait for society, because I did that. I didn't embrace my lips. I didn't embrace my hips. I didn't embrace my ass. And I spent my entire younger youth hating the way I looked, wishing I could be like Kate Moss, wishing I could be like, Claudia Schiffer, wishing I could be like Christy Turkleton, wishing I could be like Cindy Crawford. These are the symbols of beauty that was thrust in a young black girl's face. Nothing Afrocentric. Even when I did look at it, it was an embrace. But we have the power with social media, with Facebook, with Instagram. Look at the natural hair movement. I never thought. It's stressful, but you have to realize, roots and leaves, you have to realize at this point, it's all a mind game. Do you know how I felt walking into Macy's this past week on 34th Street and seeing a life-size giant, I'm talking about at least 20 feet, cutout of Kim Kardashian modeling Calvin Klein? Now, for some of you that are very, very, very young, Calvin Klein was the one who introduced heroin chic. Calvin Klein was the one who introduced the waif, aka Kate Moss, and she was revered as a natural, super thin beauty. I never thought in my lifetime, Calvin Klein would put Kim, big ass, thick thigh. It's fake, but her body is 100% reflective and mimicking a black woman. So that tells me in my head it's discriminatory. That tells me they're jealous. That tells me they don't want you to know your superpower. They don't want you to know your feminine sacred. And the sad thing about that is your femininity is not just hair and makeup. It's inside. Your femininity is your feminine sensual power. It's your energy you carry. It's your womb. And you can't have a healthy life. You cannot progress if you feel bad about yourself. Whatever choice you decide to make as a black woman, as long as it makes you happy, you got Connie Walker's support. But I know from personal experience, it is impossible for you to be happy. Okay? Impossible for you to be happy once you're trying to build upon a broken, scarred foundation. Well, they don't have to do that. They actually found the gene that's inside of our DNA and they pulled it out. They were doing research, cancer research on zebrafish, and they realized the stripes that make the zebrafish have the zebra stripes are controlled by the DNA strand. So they can actually change the darkness, the variation, by adjusting the DNA strand accordingly. So if you want to get this melanin shot, you have to gradually increase or decrease your color. And I think it's not permanent, it's sustainable. So stuff like that. So you don't have to kill anybody. Remember, every single human being has a DNA strand. Our DNA strand gives different programs, depending on your dominant genealogy. So that's what it is. But my point is, are black people gonna wait until white people get, that gene and then get that nice natural tan and they can make themselves dark before they accept themselves? Or are you gonna love yourself? Are you going to empower yourself? Are you going to start setting trends? Why are they only allowed to set trends? Why are they the ones to say, okay, ass is okay, now you can have it? Why? It's all a brain trap. It's like when you tie a cow up to a fence, and then one day you tie the cow up to a chair. And the cow stays, even though he can drag that chair. And the cow doesn't move because he spent his whole life not being able to move. It's like you as black women have given up. Don't give up. There's a beautiful life out there. There's a beautiful life out there. So that's true too. Them DNA kits, I don't know. That is scary. That is scary. I read about that too. So I want to talk about this as well. Because remember, talk about the status of black women. Okay? This is a fact sheet from the United States Center for American Progress. This is a neutral. Okay? This is neutral. It says African American women, listen guys, make up 13% of the female population in the U.S. It says African American women are making significant strides in education, participation, health, and other areas. But there's a long way to go to fully close racial and ethnic disparities. Okay? So that's one of the issues is that we don't have. And what we've been doing doesn't work. And it says 1 in 4 African American women are uninsured. So we have a lot of hypertension. While white women are more likely to have breast cancer, African American women have a higher overall mortality rate. So even though white women more likely have breast cancer than we do, we have a higher mortality rate. Like we'll die from it. Okay? Every year, 1,722 African American women die from breast cancer. They're working, they can't take time off, they work 2 jobs. I'm reading from here. They neglect going to the doctor, they can't afford the doctor bills, and they're working. These are not people sitting at home watching The Price is Right. Black women, character first. You want to know how you can get out of this hellhole? You want to know how you can actually build? You got to look for men who have the traditional mindset, the men who are going to allow you to fall back, be a woman, take care of the house. Because when you take care of your home is dominant. Exactly, Midnight Black, very smart, very smart. You're actually correct. Lack of sleep, very brilliant. See, my black women, you guys are intelligent. Put yourselves first. It's not selfish. Put yourself first. Put the love of yourself first. Put the needs of yourself first. If you like what I'm saying, give me some likes. Put yourself first. It's not poisonous to love yourself. Like I said, if you want to give to others, if you want to support others, we're all adults, and adults, we make our own choices. But if you want to give to others, if you want to support others, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I can't control. If you want to be pro-black, pro-white, I can't. I'm here to support you as a sister to sister. But I'm here to tell you, depending on what you want to do, you can't give broken. You can't do stuff broken. You really have to love yourself and honor yourself. And then, once you're whole and healed, once your feminine sacred is healed, then you can make a personal choice. And God bless you. Because I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. It says right here, black women supporting their families. Despite increasing college attendance and massive labor force participation, African American women still aren't getting the economic security of whites and their peers. The importance of women's economic health in the black community is hard to overstate. That in part is because black women tend to shoulder a lot of their household's financial burden. Let me say that again. That is in part because black women tend to shoulder a lot of their household's financial burden. So when I hear sisters on news feeds telling black men, oh yeah, you better make sure she got money too. Oh yeah, you gotta make sure, cause I be seeing black guys with these busted black women and these ratchet black, where? Bitch, where? Where are you talking about? Because statistics are showing government-based data. Black women, the status of black women, the bomba-clad status of black women. More than 80% of black mothers are the breadwinners, defined as the sole earner, or bringing at least 40% of total household earnings. The status of black women. How are you supposed to make choices when you don't know the facts? That's compared to only 50% of white mothers and 3/4 of black women who are breadwinner status are doing it alone. So when white women are doing it, they don't do it alone. We're doing it completely alone. What you're doing, no other woman has been able to accomplish. So I want you to take that same vigor and put that entire shit, invest that in your happiness. Join the Laws of Enchantress. Go to my free page. You haven't got to join the membership group. Go to the free page and see what women are saying. Go to my coaching page. I got Enchantress Coaching on Facebook. See what women are saying. See what happens when you put this same vigor into yourself. See what happens, because I get so passionate when I see people talking crap. The facts are the facts. How much more you want us to give? We're 80%. You want to be 100%? And let me see what you said. When we marry wealthy, we're seen as gold diggers. But other races, you know what, Cece? Don't care about that. No, me see Midnight Black. No other culture does this. Look at how Asian Europeans secure the bag. My mom. But I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you as sister to sister. Stop giving your energy. Stop caring. People talk about me. Y'all know people talk about me. I'm still here. I don't give two shits because I'm not here for them. I'm here for you, black women, to empower you to make better choices. That's why I made the Laws of Enchantress program. For those of you who are on my program, I only meant to do 3 days. And I got such tremendous feedback because it was about self-love, self-adoration, self-healing, the trauma that some of y'all guys go through, the hate, the pain. And I think as black women, we know what we go through. And for us to act dumb, how can I tell a black woman to do anything for anything before you do for yourself? It's a crime to me. It's like you know what it is to be a black woman, but you act like you don't know. Who are you appeasing? Who are you caping for that hard? Cape for each other. Look, here it is. I'm reading, and guys, if you're interested in this, once I press load, I'm going to take from my computer and I'm going to put all these links in the description box so you guys can read and check sources for yourself because I use legitimate sources. I don't use, for instance, what do I mean by legitimate? Like I said, I had a conversation with someone and someone said, well, 85% of black people are married. I said, oh, no, that's wrong. What you meant to say is 70% of black men who do get married choose to marry black women. But overall, only 29% of black people as a whole are married. Know how to read statistics. People, and what kills me, I see black publications like The Root and The Atlantic caping hard for these misconstrued numbers. And just think about it if you're a black woman. Just think about this right now. And you're educated and you're beautiful and you're listening to people telling you that 85% of black people are married, which is a complete lie. But let's just say you saw it. Did a lot of misconstrued statistics and propagandas. You're gonna feel bad about yourself. You might get depressed. You might get anxiety. You might think things are not. You might think you're doing something wrong. You might become a pick-a-me and say yes to everything. You might even entertain bad. It just makes me upset. Because if you're a black woman and you're hearing that, if you're a black woman and you're hearing this, that 85% and it's not true, you might think something's wrong with you. And I do my enchantress coaching, and that's my Facebook page. Definitely check it out. I do one-on-one coaching. And I tell black women that's not true. The statistics is not true. Let's focus on you. What are you looking for? And as you're listening to this, exactly. Who cares what anyone thinks? You are the only one that matters. And as you're listening to this, okay, get a pen and paper if you can, and start thinking about the top 10 characteristics, regardless of color, that you're looking for. Because once you vibrate, once you give off that energy, because that's what I did for my boyfriend. I had no idea what the hell I was going to end up with, but I knew I wanted somebody that was compassionate, prosperous, a leader, affectionate, romantic, strong, intelligent, a provider. I had a list. And I said to myself, I don't care if he's a rainbow color. I don't care if he's black, black, black. I don't care if he's white, white. All I care about is if you can satisfy my list and we can grow together, if you can make me happy. So whatever your list is, it's up to you. But that's going to be your Sloman shield against bullcrap. Because once you know exactly what you're looking for, and I'm not talking about he light skinned, he dark skinned, he's 6'3". I'm talking about, can he provide? Can he build? Can he love you? It's that. Thank you so much, Almond Joy. And that bulletproofs you because I can't sit here and say, I'm gonna look away from Russell because he's black. I'm gonna look away from Will Smith and Jada. I'm gonna look away from Denzel Washington. I don't care about that. If you make a decision to do what you want, I don't care. If you want to stay away from Nagasaki and Hotep Shima, more power to you. All I care about is black women happiness. You deserve to be married. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be feminine, provided, and protected. You deserve it. And whichever man can give it to you and you're willing to accept, take it. Whichever man is worthy and he's proven himself to you, and you like him, and you feeling him, and y'all rocking, go right ahead. Send me to the wedding, son. Send me to the wedding. So this is what I'm going to read to right here. Okay? The heavy reliance on the work of black women helps explain why black women work more than women of other racial groups and are earning higher levels of education than they have historically. But despite their efforts to push for racial and gender equality through history, black women still get a raw deal, more than any other group, according to the findings for the Institute of Women's Policy Research and National Domestic Workers Alliance. Okay? So black women do everything they can. So it says many black women are employed in the service sector, which tends to pay lower because they won't hire them in other jobs. This is in spite of all the fact that black women have made significant strides in education and work that should help them overcome many of the economic hurdles. So even though black women are going hard and getting education, this is what it looks like without a man. This is what it looks like. It's telling you it doesn't matter. It's ridiculous. I'm looking at it. But even when black women do get college degrees, they don't earn as much as white women with a college degree. According to the study, the median earning for a white woman with a bachelor's or higher was $56,000. For Asian women, it was $57,000. For black, it was barely $49,000. So this is why Becky wants to keep the patriarchy where it is. A true patriarchy is not going to benefit her in this way. She's benefiting, she's growing, she's flourishing. She's making about $7,000 to $10,000 more than a black woman with the same education. And we're talking about this because people say, oh, patriarchy. The patriarchy doesn't work for us. It's not our patriarchy. It's theirs. And they know it's theirs. And they know it protects them. It lifts them up. That's why they fight for it. That's why they voted for it. You think what I'm saying to you, they're not aware of? You think what I'm telling you right now in this video, you think I'm telling you some type of secret? So what? It's not a secret. Okay? So this is from Brookings. This is a report from Brookings, and it talks about the inheritance of black poverty. So I want to read this to you, okay? So before I read this to you, this is an actual paper. This is not anything that is made up. This is all facts. And again, if you're interested in any of these documents, at the end of the video, it'll be in the description box. I am fact-based. And at the end, we're going to find solutions here. So this is about black poverty by Brookings. I'm going to read it to you. Black Americans born poor are much less likely to move up the income ladder than those in other racial groups. Why? Many factors include education, inequality, neighborhood, workplace discrimination, parenting, access to credit, racial incarceration. But they said the biggest anchor is a lack of male leadership, the lack of black men. So this is what I want to say, okay? This is what I want to say. If you see, as a black man, and I'm talking to black men right now, if you see that working in the workplace is not working out, if you see trying to do the same thing over and over, like my mom said, and it's a very famous saying, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. Go into entrepreneurship. Get 2 or 3 of y'all. If one of y'all broke and one of y'all broke, get 5 of y'all and put into something. I'm talking to my black guys right now. I'm talking to you because I am black. And I don't hate you. I'm very disappointed, but you have massive potential because my father's a successful black man. My brother's a successful black man. My family's full of successful black men. But you know, the difference is they do things together. And if you're a black man and your friend's not about nothing, stop hanging out with them. Go find ones that you can build with, because that's how they build a block. That's how every other minority that came here. You got to stick together. You get Daquan, get Deshaun, get Raheem. Y'all open a barbershop. Fuck that shit. If you're getting discrimination, you can't move up, and you see they picking on you. Fuck that. Get Angelo, get Jack, get Bobby, and you all work together. If you can't afford a house, and it's 5 of y'all, put your money together, make a plan. It's not that hard. Like I said, this is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. But if you want solutions, I'm here offering solutions. I'm here offering, a plate. Okay? I'm here offering a plate. And what black women are doing is actually isolating themselves because they don't have support. And black women are doing everything they can. Education's not going to help when the system is not, it doesn't matter. You see, we got 60% of all the degrees. It's not helping. We're still suffering. So what I'm telling you as black men, and this is not about a pro-black men, this video was based on solutions. The solution is entrepreneurship. Go into real estate. Open an online business. Fuck it. Go on Amazon. Open an Amazon store. Open a nail salon. You see they beating up black. Open up a nail salon. You don't gotta be a woman. Most nail salons, as I saw growing up in the hood, was owned by Asian men. Open up a beauty supply shop. And if you can't afford it, go on Facebook. Go on Facebook and get several men. Go on Facebook. You got 1,000 friends on Facebook. If you're a man, go on Facebook and say, hey, who want to go into business with me? Get a lawyer. Get a notary. Make that shit legal. I do. I do know about that. If you want to message me afterwards, we can talk about that. There's actually a lot of stuff happening. But you can't continue the madness and keep saying, well, the system. Then get out the system. Then get out the system. If it's not working for you, gracefully bow out. You can't keep doing the same thing. That's the definition of insanity. And I'm telling you right now, that's the definition of insanity. And even if you're a black woman or a black man and you're independent working by yourself, diversify your income. Because when economic times come hard, we're the first ones they want to get rid of. You gotta have a different plan. I don't care if you're making $1 every 3 weeks. Find another source of income. That's why my hash is what economics is about. But what we're doing here and sitting here complaining every year, every day, the same song, I can't get by. It's not gonna change. So that means either you're gonna die or evolve. Either you're gonna go back. Exactly. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. And black people, stop not knowing your history. We had success after slavery. We had Black Wall Street and many other affluent areas directly not too long after we got Emancipation Proclamation. And you know what helped? It's because we had no choice back then but to be like this. We had no choice. You couldn't go as a black person to a white doctor or a white hospital or a white lawyer. You had no choice but to have your own infrastructure. We're basically forced and we flourished at it. So I know for a fact that the excuses we give now are not adequate. It's just not. Of course there's discrimination. Of course there's racism. Of course it's never going to go away. There wasn't racism during Black Wall Street. Do your research. And Black Wall Street was only one of many affluent areas that arrived directly after slavery. Black Wall Street's one that, a famous one. So that's what I'm saying. Why do we wear wigs? I don't know, James. Ask white women why they get their lips done. Ask white women why they get their hips done. Ask white girls why they get anything else done. Why anything black women do is under a microscope. That's racism. No, make him stay here. No, make him stay here. Let me answer his ass. When white women are out there getting their lips done, their hips and their nose done, their butt done, nobody's questioning them. I could do whatever I want. I could do whatever I want. When you tell me why white women are getting their ass done, their lips done, their hips done, wearing waist trainers, and no one's questioning them, and getting their nose job when they're 16, and no one's questioning them, they're all on Instagram lying, they're doing squats, I will wreck you. I was alive, and I was in my 20s when Jane Fonda was exercising. Her ass did not drop. Her ass did not drop. And black women are terrorized. Black women are chased for anything they do. But you got white women walking around looking like a fucking duck. Walking around. You got white women walking around trying to have, even my wig, they want to wear it black style. They want to pull out the baby hair. White women wear weaves. Freedom Couture is a top weave and wig maker in the world. And you know where she's located? Australia. Not that many Negroes in Australia. Go look at Freedom Couture. Her wigs cost about $7,000, $8,000. Give me a break. Answer me, James. You want to start a question? White women are getting their lips done, lip plumping, lip injections, lip silicone. Didn't one of them just sell $1 million in a lip kit because she got her lips done just like us? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. You got Kim Kardashian, who is a multi-millionaire because she basically did her body over like a black woman. But if I put on some hair, you gonna question me? Are you serious? No other woman in the world is altering their body to look like another demographic, like white women. Me putting on a wig or me putting on makeup, I'm still a nigga. I can't change being black. But them, they can do black things, tan black, have a black, do this black, everything black, and when they're convenient, they can fall back and be white again. This age is over because it's racist and discriminatory. Because nobody goes to a white woman who got her lips done and say, are you proud to be white? Nobody goes to a white woman who got her ass done and say, are you proud to be white? Nobody goes to a white woman who got tan and she's browner than me and say, are you proud to be white? Not once. I grew up in the age when they made fun of black women for wearing wigs and weaves. And now no one says anything when white women wear wigs, weaves, waist trainer, tanning, nose job, lip job. No one says that. I will wreck you. You can stay here, I will wreck you. Because that is completely a racist thing, because when we do it, they over exaggerate. They're doing what we did plus 10, and they're getting weaves. And they can't age. You're gonna see who's wearing more makeup after they hit 30, because they age like bananas. You're gonna see who's wearing more makeup. Even the plastic surgery don't save them. All the plastic surgery in the world don't stop that gravity of that clay face melting and slipping off their skeleton. I can do whatever I want. Exactly. Exactly, thank you. I've been on this channel with natural hair. I've been on this channel with extensions. I got dreadlock wigs. I got all types of wigs. But white women, nobody says anything to them. You're a fool to believe if all of a sudden some squats and some exercises and some bar racks is making their ass pop out. But I see men rushing to marry them. I don't see men saying anything to them. I see white women getting rich and famous because they're having our body parts, like Iggy Azalea or Jennifer Lopez or Kim Kardashian or any other one of the top Instagram models that are getting thousands of dollars a day for their posts. Lord of mercy. Have a seat and sit down. If you want to stay here, have a seat and sit down. Because if you're going to be consistent, you be fair. Nobody dares go up to a white woman who has a butt injection. No one asks Kim Kardashian's Persian European ass if she is proud to be a white woman with that big ass pamper she got up on her ass. Nobody asks her, are you proud to be whatever the hell she is with her fat injections looking like a fucking bug life or her ass sticking out. Nobody asks them when their lips are done or their hips are done or their jaw is sculpted. And the same men who claim they want natural beauty, the same men they claim they're the reason why Kim Kardashian's worth almost $1 billion. They're the reason why Kylie was able to sell $1 billion of a lip kit. The features of a black woman are so dominant that a white woman went ahead and put in fake lips. And because she put in fake lips, they were able to accept that sensual feature, and they almost made her a billionaire in less than several years. So you can stay here and get your ass wrecked because you have to explain to me why no one questions Kim Kardashian with her cornrows, or no one questions any white woman that you see on the red carpet wearing faux locks. No one questions anybody when you see them, their ass is popping out. All of us, every fucking white girl I know wants an ass. Go ask the white girl, are you proud to be white? Keep your flat ass. Keep that pancake. Stop doing squats. Why are you trying to change your body? Every white girl I know, there's not one white girl left. There is not one white girl left who wants a flat ass. She is not around. Even the models want a little bubble. Even Cosmo magazine showing how to get a little curvature. I live in New York. Don't forget where I live. I lived among plastic surgery city. I walked along Madison Avenue and Fifth Avenue. I've seen them walking around with their face swollen like this because they just got the injection shots. I've seen them can't close their mouth. They went on their lunch break to get come on. So that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not. I have to answer that because when I see people saying that, it's like, are you blind to the mass cosmetic surgery that you're seeing? What? Are you gonna just ignore Kim Kardashian? Okay, let me get back to it now. Let me get back to what I was saying. I just want to wreck that for a second. Wreck that, okay? So black men, they're saying the biggest part is the broken patriarch. Black men stuck in poverty. But gender is a big part of it, as detailed in a new paper from the Economic Equality Project. Okay? So the race gaps in the poverty and the poorest results for black men. Specifically, black men born to low income parents are much likely to end up with low income individual than black women, and especially white men. So it's a phenomenon that even when a black woman's born to the same system, she still doesn't have a low income like a black man, which is a quagmire because typically speaking, black women are supposed to make less. Even in whites, a white man will make more money on average than a white woman, even if it's the same thing. But what's happening is here they're earning even less. This is because black household women continue to have substantially lower levels of household incomes than whites. So, so they're saying, what can we do? All right, what can we do? So basically, they're saying to start raising awareness to black women on the importance of planning. Okay, it's not just going out. So this is, we have to go back traditional. Okay, guys, listen, ignore James. And guys, you can check your blocker. I put a lot of people on there as admins. So if you're on here, you're probably an admin. You could just block. I don't care anymore because this is too important. This is very important because I'm going to get into what they're telling you to be successful. So if you have a daughter, if you have a sister, if you have an aunt, or any female, even this video, I strongly suggest you play it because they're going to go through what you can do to make sure you avoid. All right, this is important. It's not important to him. Whatever he is, this is important to us. This is our future. They're gentrifying our neighborhoods. They're taking away high paying jobs. They're taking away health insurance. This is our future. And black women are getting stressed out. They're getting anxiety. They're getting paranoia. This is our future. This is, thank you. I'll make it the admin after. I don't know if I can do it now, but let me see if I can do it right now because I want our conversation to be progressive. This is not one of these. I'm not a YouTuber that's going to get you hype and angry and talk crap and do nothing. Like, I truly know that black women are phenomenal and that black women can truly progress, so that can make you go forward. Okay, so what I want to do, let me see if I can go to my channel. I don't want to hear myself talk. Okay, good, it's off. All right, so it's live now, and I think I remember how to do this. How do I get to the comments that are here? Okay, there he goes. Well, there you go. All right, and who's the person who offered to be the, just right there? Okay, I just added you. Tavana, I just made you a moderator. Yay! You got the wrench next to your name. Yay! All right, so you're good to go. You're good to go. Anybody else want to be a moderator? Let me know. So let me get back to the solutions. Yes, I told you I'm not playing because this is not about me arguing with trolls. I really am passionate about black women, and I know the solutions for us. People, this is the truth. There's a lot of people on the internet. Okay, there's a lot of, thank you. There's a lot of people on the internet that don't really care what happens to you when the camera, or Heart of Gold, you want to go to? All right, Heart of Gold says she wants to be a moderator. All right, let me do her too. Add moderator. Okay, Heart of Gold, you're all set. Thank you guys for volunteering. So there's a lot of people on YouTube. And Sophia? All right. Sophia, you want to be a mod? And I'm going to put you down, add moderator. All right, you're all set. Okay? I have like 5 mods here, so you can block James. Please block him. Okay? So you have permission, go crazy. So what I want to say, I want to get back, sorry for that pause, but this is what you can do as black women. I have a group called the Laws of Enchantress. And when I started this group, it was supposed to be just a 3-day program. It wasn't supposed to be anything more than feminine black sacred healing because I saw how many black women were hurt. And some black women are so oblivious to the abuse we get. And a lot of black women, we get abused. And we're so abused, we don't even know you know, we don't even know we're abused, meaning that we become impervious to pain. And our threshold for pain is so high. And the danger in that is we can't attract positive things. We don't believe in ourselves. We can't sustain our dreams because we've just been so immersed in negativity. And if we're not immersed in negativity, we're surrounded by those who don't believe in us, who don't believe in our dreams. And it kind of has a domino effect. So before you can do anything, I always encourage black women to heal their feminine sacred. So that's what the Laws of Enchantress program started on, about healing, manifestation, visualization, crystal healing, chakras. That was the first part of my program because I saw the pain from black women in the community and nobody was listening to us. Nobody was listening. Everybody was just telling you how to get a man, how to keep a man, how to look pretty, how to lose weight. You fat, you fat. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is anybody going to come? Is anybody going to come and say to the black woman, sister, how are you doing? Sister, are you having a good day? Sister, how do you feel? Is anyone going to say, before we ask you to do anything, even remotely for anyone, are you healed? Are you whole? And I know from experience, because I've been through quite a lot in my life, that people don't ask you anything about you. So I did the feminine sacred healing to build a foundation so you can feel good about yourself and you can love yourself and you can form the healthy habits. That was the first part of my course. Then when it was over, okay, when it was, somebody sending me a message. When it was over, I was very concerned. A lot of girls reached out to me and said, please don't stop. Like, I never had this type of positive impact. I never had someone tell me I am the upgrade. I never had someone tell me, yes, I can be married. You deserve married. Yes, I can have hypergamy. People weren't praising black women. So many people were concerned with what we don't have. People were asking, exactly, heart of gold, exactly. So many, but this is the problem. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is a very tough subject. A lot of black women are self-biased against black women, and they don't realize it because we're immersed in a society that perpetuates self-hate, and you don't know. That's my cat, and you don't know. So, for instance, I'll tell you a story. There was a black woman that was protesting in the nail salon. You guys heard what happened in the nail salon. It was a big mess. An elderly black woman was beaten, with a stick by some Asian people because they thought she didn't pay. Lo and behold, they found out she did pay. They made an error, but that's not the point. I work in retail my entire life. I do human resources, HR directing. You cannot touch a customer or block a customer or beat a customer if they didn't pay. You got them on camera, you call the police, you file a report. It's all part of business. But the point is, her protest, she actually got mad, right? And she owned, beautiful black woman, gorgeous sister. She actually started passing out flyers in the salon that did it and to salons in the area. That was her protest. And she was like, black business, support black business. So many black women attacked this sister, called her ghetto, called her trashy, called her low class. I was on that thread protecting the sister for like an hour straight. Like I wasted a part of my day. I had shit to do. And I said, when since a protest is, oh, she shouldn't go in there, that's tacky, that's trashy, blah, blah, blah. I said, it's a protest. When the white man went into Starbucks with the bullhorn after the 2 black gentlemen were arrested for waiting for someone, and they literally went into the actual Starbucks with a bullhorn and protested and shut the business down. No one called that white man ghetto. When H&M had that My Little Monkey t-shirt thing and people were going into the store, white, black, a mixed, diverse crowd, no one called them ghetto. It's like black women have to be extremely extremely, almost overexertly showing class and sophistication. Because if she doesn't, if she's upset, if she's concerned, if she's frustrated, she doesn't get the luxury of having those variations. She's ghetto. She's trashy. She's uneducated. She's a thief. She's a fraud. All these things that I know for a fact, if we were dealing with non-black women, we would never attribute these things to. So what I'm going to ask you, if you're listening to this video, if you're listening, check your self-conscious bias, because I had that issue. I'll be honest, because you're living in a society that perpetuates that negativity. We're all guilty of it. I'm guilty. So I started to check my unconscious self-bias. I started to check and say, okay, would I be doing this or saying this if this person was, I don't know, Asian? Would I be thinking this if this person was, I don't know, Hispanic? And I realized that's not true. I realized I would be thinking a different way. So I had to keep checking, balancing myself. We're all human. We all make mistakes. But if you're going to sit here and act like you would not engage that person in a different way, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. I know for a fact that we engage each other differently. From that, I was like a protest is supposed to be classy. People be laying on the street, blocking traffic, shouting, blocking the doorway. A protest is meant to be disruptive. If you choose to do a peaceful protest, it's still disruptive, but I rather, if I own a business, you come in my business and pass out flyers of a competitor, rather than you come into my store with a bullhorn and 60 people, and I can't have business for the day. To me, that's worse. But because it was a black woman passing out the flyers, we had more outrage over her doing that than the fact that a black elderly woman was beaten with a stick by Asian people because they thought she didn't pay. Just think about the mentality for a second. And that's why we need to heal. That's why we need to be the upgrade. Think about that for a second. So I want to go through, this is from the New York Times, and it's talking about what black women can do to get out of, that situation and sustain the situation. So the first part is self-healing. Coming to terms with unconscious self-bias and finding a group of like-minded women to be around. Because when you're trying to condition the mind, it's really important for you not to be engaging in different ideologies at the same time, because your brain gets confused. So if you make a choice that you want to love yourself, you want to honor yourself, you want to be devoted to yourself, you need to have a support network. And that's why I have the main closed page for Laws of Enchantress, which is the main page. So you can look around and you can see what it's about and what the environment is. And it's a very unique environment. A lot of times black women have relationship pages, and we post all kinds of crap. We have romance pages, and we're still posting drama. We're just wired to be negative. And it's not our fault, but we have to have awareness. The second part is date for a reason. Okay? Date for a reason. So that means once you go out there, because of the status of black women, because we are so vulnerable to poverty, because we are so vulnerable to violence, because you need to sit down there and date for a reason. And the New York Times article says you need to make sure you have a plan. You need to make sure you have a plan. A lot of us don't know how to date for a reason. We're not confident enough. I hear black women talking. So like I said, you can join my main page. I have my program. It's a one-time investment. It's really good. I have girls in my program getting married. I have girls in my program getting pampered, getting loved. And the most important thing, they're loving themselves. They're honoring themselves. They're pampering themselves. They're investing in themselves. And it starts with you. So that's the thing. Date for a reason. That's why I said, even though my boyfriend is white, even though my boyfriend's British, even though my boyfriend is European, that's not why I'm with him. I'm with him because he wants to get married. I'm with him because we're planning our wedding. I'm with him because he's traditional, he's Christian, he's family oriented. That's what I want. That's the most important thing. If he was white and he just want to date, if he was white and he wasn't traditional, if he was white and he didn't care about me staying home, we talked about all this already. And that's what I'm looking for. And I need black women to have an elevated sense of what they're looking for. Because if you go out there, because of the social negativity that's attached to us, a lot of people will look at you. Remember, you are beautiful. Remember, We're all gorgeous. From the vanilla, dark, yellow. We are all gorgeous. You know, we are exotic. Black women are in style. They don't want you to know that though. We are in style and we're not going anywhere. We're trending for eternity. We've been trending. And the thing is that because of that, they're going to try to attach a lot of negative stereotypes to us because they don't want us to win. White women have been winning because of negativity. They've been winning because of negative social conditioning. Get that off. And that time is over. So, like, you want to make sure that you're conditioned and you know what you're looking for. The next thing is how to date. If you come to Laws of Enchantress group, we'll teach you how to open up your dating options for real. And we got something called full scale assault, where you're dating in every single demographic possible. We've been trending. We've been trending. Sweetheart, from Sarah Bartman, when they were copying our ass, trying to wear big ass bustles in their dress, when they were getting lip injections, when they used to draw their lips over their lip line back in the 80s. We've been trending. You guys have no idea how powerful you are. So you want to make, you want to, what did Amber? I don't even understand what Amber's saying. But black women, you want to date. You want to date who's going to uplift you and marry you. Marriage has to be a goal. I can't sit here with you and keep talking about, I mean, you guys are intelligent, just as smart as anybody else. And I'm telling you, study after study shows that marriage to the right person, and that's why I have my other sister page called Traditional Ladies Lux. I just don't want you to get married to get married. I want you to get married to a man that's going to worship you, honor you, adore you, protect you, provide you. That's the only case. It's not a competition. It's not a you know, who go get married survivor. It's truly about you loving, adoring yourself first, so you can make the right decision, so you can have the confidence. Exactly. Because I'll keep it real with you. I'll keep it real with you. There's a lot of social stigma on black women perpetuated by a racist society. And you're going to have men who are not black thinking that we're easier, or you don't have to provide, you don't have to give to her. And it's because of the negative stereotypes that we're trashy or we're ghetto, we're just good to have sex. You want to make sure that when you go out there, your Sloman shield is dating for character. You want to make sure your Sloman shield. So you got to understand, I don't care. My boyfriend is white. I can easily come on this channel and shit on black men and say swirl, 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 swirl's the best. But I've had white boyfriends before and they didn't marry me. I've had white boyfriends before and, we're just dating. They didn't take me serious. And I've had, whatever. So my thing is, you date for character. You date for what you want. You get a pen and paper. So if you want to get married, you want to find somebody who's traditional and marriage-minded. You're not here to convince any man. There's 7 billion humans, right? There's somebody for everybody. And the problem with black women is you spend too much time. You get a dictionary, you call 10 friends, you talk about it. You're supposed to be pursued. You are the black woman. You are elegant. You are gorgeous. You are intelligent. You are intoxicating. You are enchanting like the enchantress. You're supposed to be pursued. And the minute that pursuit is not happening, you need to gracefully bow out. And next, you are supposed to be pursued down the aisle. The reason why so many of us was infatuated with Prince Harry and Meghan is because he was clearly in love, clearly anxious, and clearly really excited to get his love down the aisle. And the secret is every single black woman has the ability to have that. That's happening to me now. That's happening to me now. I'm a regular black girl. I've got some wig and makeup on. That's happening to me right now. And it's the best feeling in the world. And the only reason that was able to happen to me is because I had to make a list. I had to heal. I was hurt. I was insecure. But I had to literally condition myself that I am the upgrade. And then I found scientific fact to actually prove that I am the upgrade. And I was very thrilled. So go to my Laws of Enchantress coaching page, message me. I have a page called Enchantress Coach.